Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ask the Amigos. This is the show where Aaron and I answer our Discord community's burning
They're
questions.
burning. Yeah.
Our first question comes from Scoob. He says, picture your favorite retro game. Now think of a background or NPC character in that game, someone with a weird, thankless, or hilarious job. Which one would you actually want to do, never want to do, or find the most hilarious? So he gives us some examples, which I
Okay.
think are very helpful. Ooh, sorry, I was burping
That
up
near
old
beer's killing
Milwaukee's
you,
near
Bo.
beer. Yeah.
That's big
Um,
mistake.
so examples are pirate bar musician and the secret of Monkey Island, the stage cleaner in Mortal Kombat, the ring cleaner, or the head disposal goblin in Barbarian.
That's the one I was gonna pick. Dadgummit. I'll pick something else. I was just thinking about that guy. So who do you like?
I think I'm going to go with his example. I would love to be a pirate bar musician in The Secret of Monkey Island because I love that mall organ music that you hate.
I do hate that. In terms of, I love the crowd shot in the supercars games where just like normal people are just standing on the side like, hey, I think that'd be kind of fun. They seem happy, you know.
Yeah,
And
being
then
a spectator. Where do you stand on being a ring cleaner in Mortal Kombat?
I think the one I'm gonna pick is that poor geek that has to sweep up the broken back glass and Larry Bird and Dr. J go
Dr. J.
101. Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good one. As far as the most hilarious, it's got to be the head disposal goblin. That cracks me up every time.
I think there's a guy in Big Top that has to clean up after the animals. Seems like there's a clown that comes out with a broom. I could be insane, but so that would be a crappy job too. I was at a parade one time, and you've probably been here, Bo, but they stuck us behind the horses.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
you don't want to be behind the
That,
horses.
and keep in mind that the band is in full idiot. They're full idiot outfit with their white shoes.
Yep,
And you're trying to stay in line as you're walking, as you're negotiating your way through the horse crap. That was not a good parade.
Nope.
I will tell you that right now. Bad times, but
No. Paul Bossman Harrington asks, "How's Babylon 5 going?" I need to get back into it, Paul. I've fallen off the train, not for any particular reason. The show's going great. I just for some reason I just stopped watching it. So maybe tonight I'll catch an episode. I'll tell you where we are right now. We're in the depths of season 3. Season 3.
Oh yeah, it's great. And Bo will get back in there.
Yeah.
I will say, of course, I love. I'm talking Bo into playing the miniatures game. We just talked about that. We were talking about that in the pre-show. So I'd love to see him get into some B5 wars. And also, I will say that J. Michael Straczynski is now an official citizen of England. He moved, so he's out of here. And so there's some speculation that he might get some new gimmicks over there because B5 is pretty big in the UK. So fingers crossed. I still have not watched the animated movie. I'm still waiting, but I'm putting a hard deadline. If the boys aren't here to watch it by the end of the year, I'm just gonna watch it myself. But yeah, B5 always great, never bad, all the time.
He also asks, have either of you ever listened to the audiobook version of the autobiography of J. Michael Straczynski called Becoming Superman?
I know of it. I know of the book. I've never listened to it, no.
Yeah, I haven't heard it either.
I met him. Did I mention that?
No, but you can talk about it.
He signed. He used to do Spider-Man. He was the writer, and I had him sign my Spider-Man book. It's hanging on my wall in there. He's very I mean, this is Comic-Con, so it's not like me and him had a drink and went out and become buddies. But he was very cordial, a very nice man, and he was an excellent writer of comic books at various times.
Pajako 6502 asks, have you ever used a magic 8-ball for advice and taken it?
Yeah, I've got one. I could literally walk and get one. Just run right there. Have I ever taken the advice? Maybe. I don't remember doing that, but I do remember being disturbed at what it said and maybe altering my path from. So yes.
I don't recall. I mean, the last time I used a magic 8-ball was probably in middle school, so I can't remember.
Yeah.
His second question is, do you regularly use any sayings that your parents use or used?
I mean, sometimes I use sayings that they use to make fun of my dad. Like my dad.
I say stuff. Yes. I say stuff that my dad would say all the time. In fact, I was fixing our air conditioner. In fact, I'll go into that with Ravi's question. But the one thing that my dad always said, I guess it's not really unique to him, but he'd always say, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And so, I use that saying quite often when he asks me to do something.
It's a good cop out too. It's like, it's not fully broken.
Right.
My dad like says everything hick. Like, and one of my favorite things he does is anytime he's bad mouthing somebody, a politician or something, he says he talks about those suckers in Washington. So that's what I often would say. What's going on in Washington this week? You know, I do like that one.
And Paul says, I use the phrase, anyone want to play cards for money when I feel the universe has screwed me over again, which is something my dad used to say a lot in similar situations. So that's what Paul says.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Paul's last question is, have you ever witnessed a lightning strike in real life?
I don't. Yes, I would say yes, but it was like when I lived up on the mountain, I could see over the city, and I could see lightning hit stuff, but it's not like I was standing there like the tree exploded or anything.
Right. No, I've never seen a lightning strike in person. Ravi asks, what's the best DIY project you've ever done? I'm going to take this one first because it's on my mind. So about like 5 years ago, our outdoor unit broke on our air conditioning. So for those of you that live in the UK and you don't have air conditioning, a lot of people have like a heat pump / air conditioner outside and then like a ventilation system inside. So the outdoor unit broke. The guy came over and it was a compressor. It was a huge compressor that he replaced. And he was getting ready to throw it away. I was like, hey, can I have that? And he's like, sure. And I was like, one of these days, this thing is going to break again. And so I went on Amazon that day and I ordered that exact compressor. So about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, our air conditioner broke and we were living with it and it was so hot. You remember how hot it was. Yeah. And I was on the cusp of calling the air conditioning people to come and fix it. And then I remembered, I was like, I've still got that compressor downstairs. This was 10 o'clock at night. Eep had not come home yet. It was pitch black outside. I was like, by golly, I'm fixing this thing tonight. So I get the tools out. I go out there. I've got my phone flashlight on. I've got a Coleman lantern fired up. I change out that compressor. Boom! It fires right up. I do the happy dance. I do the dance of a man because I've fixed a major home appliance.
Listen, you're a genius. This is what being close to the good Lord will do for you. You know, drinking that god-awful beer. You're paying your dues for success, and I appreciate that. That's good stuff. I will say mine is much lamer. When I lived up, I've got two. I will say, as stupid as it was, I was very proud to fit everything I could into that Coco with my atomic pie project. That was a stunning success in half-assery and sketchy techery. But my number one half-assed and sketchy maneuver was when I lived up on the mountain. I used to hear a lot about these. You know, we used to do some Wi-Fi war dialing sorts of thing. And I took it. I had an old dish from Dish Network or something, and I went and got a real powerful USB Wi-Fi adapter, and I rigged it to the center of the dish, and I could aim that dish all over the city and then free ride on everyone's Wi-Fi. That was awesome, and it worked for a long time. I felt like the King Dong of that. So most of my big technological like the things that made me proudest were things in the sketchy realm, you know, cheating at cable, like cheating at stuff like that, intercepting signals I'm not supposed to. That's the kind of stuff that I get a big charge out of.
Yeah, man. I think that's cool. Yeah. I think that's awesome.
Thank you, bud.
Ravi's second question is, if you got all the Amigos together to watch a private performance, what band would you choose and which drink would go with it?
Well, I mean, if it was just me and you, it'd be the Beatles. There's no doubt. Brett doesn't like the Beatles. So that makes it a little more difficult.
I'm not the biggest Weird Al fan, but I know you guys love Weird Al, so I would consent to go watch a private performance. Because I mean, here's the thing about Al: you're going to get some kind of music you like over the course of the evening because he does it all. He does it all.
That's not who I would pick, though. I'm going to see a real artist. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, if I can't see granted, the Beatles, right? But I mean, I want to see, like, if we're going to get crazy, like in the history of man, You go back in time. I wouldn't mind seeing like Prime ELO. I wouldn't mind seeing some Jethro Tull. I like those guys. I want to see someone or Zeppelin, like when they're at the peak of their, or Jimi Hendrix. We could probably get Brent and you to agree on at least a couple of those acts.
If I'm actually going to answer the question, the answer to the question is David Bowie. I would love to see David Bowie, and I would do it exactly like I did at Sheffield. At Sheffield, they had a David Bowie tribute band come.
Yeah.
I went up to the bar. I was like, fill me up a whole glass of gin, just gin. And then I just slammed that thing. And then I had the best night of my life listening, screaming along to David Bowie cover band.
Listen, I was this close. Do you understand me? To seeing that freaking last tour where he played all his old stuff. I got hosed out of that ticket, brother. My buddy Beasley hosed me. I'll get him for that one of these days. So I didn't get to go see him. But, that's a great choice. I did go to see the Bowie songs at the planetarium there at the Clay Center when they did that weird thing. And so it was better than nothing. But the problem is Bowie was dead. And so it didn't work for me, man. But that'd be great too. I would love to see that. It's a good choice.
Ravi's final question is, did you ever ring a hints and tips premium phone line for a certain game? A 1-900 number?
God, no. First of all, I would have been killed. Because I was already skating on thin ice with calling these BBSs and stuff. And secondly, it's something that never would have occurred to me. So no.
I used to write to Nintendo Power handwritten letters about when I would get stuck in games, and I would receive typed responses with the answer.
Really?
Yeah, and I still have these letters. This is the kind of company Nintendo was. It's crazy.
Yeah.
They would respond to kids that wrote to them. Like, I was stuck in Ocarina of Time, and the guy that wrote me back was like, I was actually stuck in this exact place too. You're not alone. So I don't know if that was true or not, but it was cool to receive mail that answered my questions.
It's funny. I was just listening to Pixel Gaiden on the road yesterday, and one of the fellas had written at Nintendo, and they'd written him back about, I can't remember which Nintendo game it was, but it was one of those role-playing games, so it's something they did. Boy, that's Nintendo has, corporations are not what they were. They have changed. No. Can you imagine having trouble with a game now and sending Nintendo a letter and seeing someone respond to it with the answer? It's a 0% chance.
Would never happen. Yeah. Now Nintendo would probably sue you for writing the name of one of their copyrighted characters in your letter.
I wasn't going to go there, but...
Cameron Armstrong writes, which is objectively the best animal, cats or dogs? What do you think, Aaron?
It's a tough call, all right? Dogs are like real pets. Like dogs, they will love you, lick you, play with you. They're so happy to see you. They like your little dog's a good example. It gets excited, so excited it pees a poos or whatever. That's what they little ones do. Cats, like my cat meets me at the door. Okay?
Yeah.
But it's not like I love Dad. It's like begin the petting now. Where's the food? Do my cats love me? I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think they probably do.
They like the services I provide. But dogs actually love you. So I'm going to go with, I think cats are easier to own.
Yeah.
But dogs are more of a proper pet, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm 100% with you. Like, part of me, well, first of all, if we were not allergic, we would definitely have a cat and not a dog, just because cats are easy. They're a lot less maintenance. But that being said, the only kind of cat you can get that's hypoallergenic is one of those weird hairless cats, and I don't want no weird alien creature roaming
like a
around
Dr.
my house.
Evil cat.
Yeah, that's no good. So, I'm gonna go with dogs because
it's funny you would say that being bald and beardless. So you're sort of like, listen, bald cats need love too, Bo.
They do. You're right. Number 2, if you could own a monkey as a pet, would you?
Are you kidding? Hell yeah. Monkey. Are you kidding me? I love those guys.
I would love to own an orangutan. Remember that series of films, Any Which Way But Loose, Any Which Way You Can?
Right turn, Clyde.
Those movies. Yeah. So I would love, now I know that an orangutan is not a monkey, but I'm making an exception. I'm going with that.
Here's the thing though, okay? Let's say you see an orangutan. He's wearing an amusing outfit. Maybe he's smoking. Who can't love that? But
That's
what
right.
about the fact? Keep in mind that orangutan's wearing a diaper. You understand me?
Yeah.
And guess who's changing that diaper? It's going to be John Bodekar-Jolly.
That's
You
true.
know,
That's true.
it's not like you can litter train those things. Your teacher used a can.
You never know. You never know. Jane
have you
Goodall,
ever heard anyone ever doing that ever?
I think Jane Goodall did.
She would never do that because it'd be humanizing an ape.
That's true. That's true.
And also an orangutan. Let's say you were late with the orangutan vittles. That thing can, without even thinking about it, can rip your head off.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? I mean, easily.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. And finally, Cameron's last question is, if you had to become an animal, what would it be?
Oh boy. It would probably be like one of the big cats. Like a leopard. Like something like that. Or a panther, a black panther, or one of those guys. You know, the velvet panthers. Who stalks through the night. I
could see him as a panther. Yeah.
I mean, listen, he'd be a big boy. I mean, they'd be eating a lot. What do panthers eat? Everything they get hold of. I mean, there'd be a killing radius that'd never been seen before. But I think it's something like that. I want to be like a sleek, quick cat. You know, like.
Edvin has a good answer. Dragon. I think dragon is up there for me.
That's not a real animal.
Well, I agree to disagree. Well, I would want to be a bird, like a hawk. I think a hawk would be rad.
That's not bad. The lifespan, though, that's a long.
That's all right. That's all right. You'll have a good life, just a short life. All right. David Hearn Ryder writes, back then, Amiga games had to be released as bug-free as possible. And now releasing a game full of bugs and fixing them on the fly seems acceptable.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this?
Well, I don't like it.
My thoughts are I wish games had less bugs.
Yeah. I mean, this is can I rant for just a moment, Bo, if you'll indulge me?
Sure.
This is the best time ever to be into old games. I could say retro games, but I'm not going to. I mean old games. This week on ARG, we're going to play something on the BBC and something on Atari 2600. Okay, guess what? It's great. It's great. I like just loading up games and going in there and going to work. No baloney, no hullabaloo, no installation, no weird control issues. I mean, look at these modern controllers. Look at all these buttons on this sucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We've gotten, don't get me wrong, more advanced games require better controls. But, I mean, I want to get in there. I want some action now. I want action tonight. I don't want to wait. I don't want to have to wait for, you ever get something on the Xbox? You had a PS3. I got it sitting right here. You ever load this thing up? It's like, man, I'm going to play me a game. It's like, now downloading update for system.
Oh, yeah.
Now downloading patch. It's like, wait time, 50 years. It's like, let me tell you something. You're playing combat right now. You know what I'm saying? You're playing any of those games. It's happening. It takes longer to load up some of your console games than it does to load stuff off tape. You know what I mean? So I guess what I'm saying is there's something to be said for the guys who just went in there and made a game that works every time, and you just load it up and play it. I'm very tolerant of modern games and their intricacies and their baloney that they have to go through to get everything right, like on Steam or whatever. But, I mean, Luke just got a Digimon game. By the way, I paid $70. I paid $70 for a Digimon fake Pokemon game for this guy, and it was like 30 gigs of game. Okay, that's over the top. Do you know what I mean? That's too much. So I guess that's what I'm saying. Enjoy what you're into. We're very fortunate to be into these old games where we don't have to worry about that sort of crap. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when he says back then Amiga games had to be released as bug-free as possible, I mean, that's sort of not true. I mean, time after time, games were rushed out the door and they had bugs. I mean, that's just the way it was. I think that we live in an age where the bugs can be fixed. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Now, what I do hate is when I get in the mood to play a game and I have to wait an hour for something to download. I do hate that part. So I'm with you 50%. David also asks, can you think of any Amiga arcade conversions that were better than the original arcade game? I cannot. I don't know of any.
I'm going to name one, and I'm going to make it some blowback.
Okay.
I enjoy Amiga Silkworm more than the arcade. I will tell you that right now.
Okay.
I'm better at it. I think it's more fun. I think it's more playable. than the arcade. So that's one that I can think of right off the top of my head. It's not like there's a ton of them, but and I had to sit down and really think about that question because you have to go through all the ports. There are great ports, but are they better than the arcade? Better than the arcade, that's tough.
I can think of ports. Yeah, I can think of ports on other systems that I prefer to the arcade originals, but not on the Amiga. The Amiga tried so hard most of the time to match the graphical fidelity that it tended to compromises had to be made in other areas. Versus on the Atari 2600, like I'll play 2600 Defender all freaking day. I love that game.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of the standout Amiga games. Listen, there are plenty of standout arcade conversions, plenty.
Yeah.
But Golden Axe and stuff like that. But better than the arcade is a tall order, and so I'm sure they exist. Like I could name one right now on the Genesis. That slap fight on the Genesis. That's great. It's better. But it's going to be. I've got to sit down and really ponder it. But that was the first one that came to my head.
Yeah. And finally, if a text adventure set in Hurricane happens, what are the main obstacles and adversaries you must overcome?
Traffic is the big one. Right now they're going through and redoing all of our power lines, and so the power's been wonky. The traffic on interstates insane because they're adding an exit to where Boat lives. What do you think about that exit, Boat? Is that going to help you at all?
It's going to help me tremendously. I'll never have to drive through downtown Hurricane again ever in my life. It's going to be great.
That's great. Except for Boat Fest, of course.
Yeah,
what do you think some of the disadvantages in terms of what would the obstacles be?
Junebug.
Is he still around? Is that him out there on the bike?
I don't think he can die.
There's a guy out there on a bike. You should explain who that is so they'll know.
So Junebug is a guy that just used to ride. He had one of those bikes that was like a it was like a low rider bicycle. I've never seen anything else like it.
The cops bought it for him. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
The Hurricane Police bought him that bike. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
For him. Yeah.
So I would say Junebug. Eddie would be an NPC. Do you know who Eddie is? He's the bearded guy that always walks with the wagon.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that guy.
Yeah, his name's Eddie. He used to live down Thompson Road, but his house burned down. Now him and his family live in that Motel 6, but he still walks here every day to get his mail and he brings it back in the wagon.
What about that chiseled old man that runs all over town? I see him every morning.
Gandalf. Yeah.
So there's that guy. You have to avoid him.
So there's one of the great things about go ahead.
That's another one. Have you seen that the African American fellow who has the earplugs in and does the rap as he's going down the street?
Yes.
He is as animated. At first, the first time I saw him, I thought he was jacked up on meth, but no. He's rapping. He's loving life. It.
Yeah. That guy too. It's funny. I always see him in the same location every time. He's always right across from the sheets.
Yeah.
Right across from the sheets. Walking
That's exactly. I'm the same way. I see him there every time, and every time I see him, I'm like, "Holy cow, is that guy okay?" But he is okay.
Yeah,
and
I always wonder,
funky.
Where is he walking from, and where is he walking to? Who knows?
What's he listening to? I want to get some of that. There's plenty of obstacles in this town. You can make your game now.
Come to Vote Fest. We'll show you them all. Sheila Dixon asks,
"Oh yeah."
Prompted by one of the questions in the last Ask the Amigos, is there a film that you love and brings tears to your eyes, but not necessarily for bad reasons? Would you watch that same film in the same room as your mates? So would you watch a movie that made you cry with your friends?
I have. Listen, and I've seen it so many times now that I've sort of worn it out, but it's a generic answer. But the ending of the Shawshank Redemption always gets me, where he busts out of that sewer pipe, and he's raised his hands up. Especially after I started working the joint, you definitely want to get out of there, and you definitely would want to get out of the sewer pipe there. I love that. That's a great film. I'm a big fan of Shawshank Redemption. So that scene comes out, and I've sat and watched that with the boys and teared up a little bit. And I've mentioned this before, but as I get older, I'm like probably 50 times more sensitive than I used to be about stuff. So I'll be watching something, I'll see someone retire from a game, from a UFC or something, and just I'll be teared up, like, oh man, it's over. I don't know. It's something about getting old, I guess, that you start doing that. So I'm bad about it. So it's happened to me many times. So what about you?
I always get sad at the end of ET. I'd probably watch ET with some friends.
Me and my mom cried. We saw it I'll tell you,
Yeah.
that's one of the few times I saw something with my mom in the theater,
Yeah.
and we bawled in that
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah. When he says, "I'll be right here," it still gets me.
It's funny because ET, I don't think it aged that well for whatever reason. Like people
I haven't seen it in a while.
People don't. I watched it just the one time, but I
Mhm.
don't think people give that game that movie its due. I think the parodies of it sort of watered down or wore
Yeah,
down what it
probably
was.
so.
But I mean,
Yeah.
when that came out, that was a real heart churner. I mean, just like it was so sad. Remember they were
Yeah.
going to take ET and they were going to like operate on him.
Right,
Like you're
right.
like, oh
Right,
no,
he
not
almost
ET.
dies. Yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. When especially when like, because like Elliot and ET are linked, and when the doctor's like, Elliot's fine, but we're losing ET, I was like, anyway.
Brutal,
I can't.
brutal.
Yeah, brutal. Lobsterminator asks, if you were hurled back in time 1 to 2,000 years, is there anything you could teach people in that time about future technology? Is there any device you could actually know how to build that would be useful to them? Let's assume that you could communicate with them.
Who wrote this?
This is Lobsterminator.
Lobby, I swear to God, I had this exact thought the other day. If you ever watch Army of Darkness, Ash is teleported back to medieval times, the Arthurian times, right? And he's got his car, but I mean, he teaches them how to make this various stuff. And I thought to myself just the other day, if I got teleported back in time, what could I teach people to do? And the only thing I could come up with right off the top of my head was just like boil water would be one of the things, and wash out wounds, stuff like that. That's stuff I could do. But in terms of like chemical formulas to make stuff, I mean, do you know any boat that you could use?
I know so little about the natural world. The only thing I could think of, because like, okay, like I know like baking soda and vinegar, you can make a volcano, but like nobody's going to be impressed with that 1,000
Yes.
years ago.
It may think you're a god or something. If you do
And the
that.
thing is, like 1,000 years ago, okay, depending on where you are, like civilization could be more or less advanced. Like 2,000 years ago, if you go to Rome, I mean, they've already got a lot of crap that's cool. So
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Petzel mentioned teach them to wash their hands. Yes.
That's true. Actually,
that's
teaching basic hygiene would be that's the answer.
That would go a long way,
Yeah,
But I mean,
yeah.
otherwise, I mean, can you imagine if we got transferred back to that time? Like, we would be boned, because the people back in those days were more sturdy. They could go out and like make a farm and like chop down trees and careful. What were we gonna do?
Well,
We
even
teach them not to use up for jump and not have
Right.
not have levels where you have to collect stuff before the exit opens. That's about all we're
Right.
good for.
It's like even today, it's like Eep's dad. If you took everything away from Eep's dad, he could build a house with his bare hands and
Right.
live in it.
Yeah.
It's like we can't compete with something like that.
No,
That's just-
you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Great
So
question.
this is Joe Aquat. Joe Aquat writes, when listening to a podcast while driving, do you find yourself rewinding sections because you started thinking too hard about something else and missed something potentially interesting, or do you just let it keep on going?
I never rewind while driving because I've listened to podcasts for so long. I'm trained. I pay very close attention to what's going on. For example, I was listening to Pixel Gaiden yesterday, and they had their quiz, and these guys couldn't name all the monkeys. Okay,
Davy
Mickey.
Jones, Peter Tork.
Come on, don't you do it?
Give me a hint.
Do I really need to? Who's the drummer?
Mickey Dolan.
Okay, and who's the guitarist with the toque? His mom invented whiteout.
I thought that was Peter Tork.
No, Peter Tork played piano.
Oh, I don't know. I can't name the fourth.
It's
monkey.
Mike Nesmith.
Mike
But anyway,
Nesmith.
they were
Okay.
botching these trivia questions. It was killing me. So to rewind would just make me more angry. So very rarely do I, unless I hear something so profoundly stupid on the show. I'm like, or like I will say, every once in a blue moon, I listen to our shows in the car, And if I say something really dumb, which happens occasionally, I'll go back and revel in my own stupidity. I'll be like, oh, and I hate that. So what about you?
I will go back and rewind, especially if like when like Pixel Guide in, if they're talking about a game, because like they're like it's like 6 good games or whatever, and they switch to a new game, and I realize, oh, what are they talking about? They're talking about a new game. I'll rewind.
Sometimes they forget to say the title of the game. They do that sometimes. It's funny though. We're the only podcast that's like that I listen to that's like us. This is not a compliment. Because we don't have a script. We have no idea what's going to happen, and we don't talk about anything before the show ever. That's a shoot. I don't think I have to convince people of this.
I don't think so.
So I have for example, we did Amigos earlier. Like when we came up and Boat said, "Hey, what about this?" I've got no idea. We don't talk about any of this stuff. We're practicing, so I have no idea what he's going to say ever. I've never known, and so. Most are more professional, I guess is what I'm saying. Like when I listen to Adam's shows, like he's got a full-on, fully fleshed out, fully done script. You know, or, these guys, or Flack, who's an old pro, so he can do a little bit of improv, but he's got bullet points or whatever. So most podcasts you don't have to worry about that. Except, I mean, now people could rewind our show, but because we are just pulling it out of our butt. But I don't know any other shows that do it like we do, Bode.
Yeah,
we
agree.
should probably learn something, to be honest with you, all these years.
Freestyle Cab writes, I often hear Aaron use the phrase dirt worst.
Yeah.
As an Australian, no, I'm sorry, I skipped a question.
Oh.
David R. Stansfield asks, do West Virginians like the song Take Me Home Country Roads?
Does a fish like water? Are you kidding me? We love that song.
If you're not from this state, I can understand how that would be like a legitimate question. But yes, wherever you go, whatever you do, country roads will be sung for you.
Remember when that dude asked us if anybody ever seen Cole? Remember that? Like this is like that. Like, do we love that song? I mean, the second it came out, love. Right? Do we love John Denver? Yes.
Every gig I've ever played with any band, no matter what the genre is, you always close it out with country roads.
Yeah, I've never been to a sporting event in this state that didn't play that at some point. Now, I heard that Marshall banned it because WVU used it. Well, that's stupid.
That's dumb.
But that's what I heard. Because WVU, when they win a game, they play it. You're not hearing it much this year, by the way. Did you hear Rich Rod said he was going to... He said he was going to make us. He said in 5 years we'd be a top 5 team in the nation. That's what he said.
Keep dreaming, Rich.
Keep
dreaming.
Okay, that's what Dream On should be the new song. But yeah, to answer your question, absolutely, we love that. Look what Jawbreaker said. John Denver sang it at the steps of the Capitol building. I believe
that's awesome. I believe it too.
I've seen footage of him singing it at a WVU game. It got over.
Oh yeah.
We love that song.
And finally, Freestyle Cab. He says, I often hear Aaron use the phrase dirt worst. As an Australian, this phrase is unknown to me. Yeah. Aaron, could you please give us your meaning behind this phrase? And is it a common phrase in the USA, or is it more of a regional West Virginia language convention?
Who asked this, Boater?
This is Freestyle Cab.
Great. Freestyle. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know. If it's a regional thing or if it's nationwide. I don't know. Boat, you might be able to answer that.
I've never heard anybody else say it but you.
Well, I did not make that up. The dirt worst. That's a common phrase from somewhere. I don't know where I would have heard it. Okay, with all that said, the dirt worst. You got bad, right? Then you got like the worst. It's worse than bad, but at the very bottom of the heap is the dirt worst. That's the dirt worst game or the dirt worst band or whatever. They're the bottom of the barrel. I mean, if you consider what is the value of dirt? Not so good, right?
Not so good.
If you're the worst and you're dirt worst, that means you're the worst. So I don't know where I picked that up, Bode. You never said that before?
No, I've never heard that. You're the first person. I use so many phrases that I've stolen directly from you that it's embarrassing. You would laugh if you saw me in class with the middle school kids.
Well, know, I'll go back. Now I'm going to credit the Hoser on some of this, right? Me and Hose we are twin brothers of different mothers. I mean, we really are. And so we would watch all the same videos, and we would catch on to these things that happen that no one else on earth would ever care about. I'll go back and watch an old episode of SCTV, and someone will say something that I've been saying for years, and it'll hit me. That's where I got it, And so I don't know where Dirt Wars came from, but I mean, I don't have an answer for the way I am. I guess that's my final verdict on that. I don't know.
I don't think there's a better way to end this podcast than that phrase.
Is that the end of it, Bo? We got the last question.
We've hit the last question. So as always, if you're a member of our Discord community, drop us a question in the Ask the Amigos chat room. You can ask us up to 3 questions a month, and we will be back next month to answer more questions. We'll see you next time, and until then, adios.
Adios.